We can see that this machine is also CVE rated, which means that we will be able to root it or gain access to it using CVEs found online. So without further ado, let's get started. As usual, I will start off with a simple nmap scan. So the command is nmap -sv, which probes all the open ports, -a, which enables OS detection, and on, which outputs the results to the file. I'm gonna call the file optimum.txt, and I'm going to specify the IP address of the machine, which is 10.10.10.8. I'm gonna run this and I'll give this some time to run. Normally, if you're doing a pen test, you need to run -a to see what OS is running on the machine, but we can see right here that this is a Windows machine, but we might get even more information with the -a. So all we see here is HTTP running on port 80, and it's most probably a Windows Server 2012. We can keep this in mind. So knowing this information, we can go ahead and access the web page that it has. And we can see right here an interface, a web application interface. We can see that this is an HTTP file server, which is version 2.3. So I'm just gonna Google this and see if I can find anything on this. Actually, I missed file, and I'm going to specify the version 2.3. Let's see what we get. Already we can see some exploits over here. We can see one from ExploitDB, but I think there's also one for Metasploit, so let's try and find this. Here we go, this is the one. So this exploits, the HFS, which is the HTTP file server, the scripting commands by using %00, and this bypassed the filtering. So this means that on the search bar over here, we can type %00, then open some brackets, and we can see that here I've already tested this, and this actually a blind command execution. We won't see any result on our web page or anywhere, but we can test if this actually works by running TCP dump -i on tan0, and this will dump the traffic on the network, and we will specify the interface that we want to target, which is tan0. So I will let this run, and I will also execute this ping command on my own machine. We can also verify that this is my IP address. There we go. So now let me just run this and see if this actually works. And we can see right here that we got the result. The command execution actually works, and that is what the exploit is going to use. It's going to upload the payload and then it will gain a remote connection. So now we'll copy this. I'll go back to my Metasploit and I'll paste the exploit over here. I will show the options, and all I have to set is the L host and the R host. So I'll do set L host. My IP address is 10.10.14.10, and the R host, which is 10.10.10.8. So now all I have to do is just exploit this. Oh, actually I misspelled L host. So now if I run this again, it should work. And there we go, we've got a Meterpreter session opened. Great. So now I can do sysinfo, and we can see that the computer name is Optimum and the domain name is hack-the-box. So we have successfully gained initial access to this machine, but just knowing what application is running on the web server and the version of it, we also mentioned how this exploit is going to work by bypassing the filtering. And now all we have to do is privilege escalate. So normally what you want to do is actually list the processes on the current machine, and then we can see right here that the architecture of our current, the cell is running on 86, so we have to make it run on 64. So I will run the ps command, and this will list all of the processes running on the machine, and I will find the 64-bit process running. I will take the Explorer one, I will copy the PID, and I will migrate my cell to this one. So now again, if we do sysinfo, we can see right here that our Meterpreter cell is running on 64-bit, and that's what we wanted. So now I can background my session, and now what I want to do is search for exploits that can be run on this machine to gain a higher privilege. So I will do search suggested. I will copy it, use this one, and I will set the session to 1. We can also verify that the ID is 1, and now I can run this. We'll just give this some time to run, and we'll see what exploits we can run on this machine. So now we can see, guys, that we've got results. This won't do the job for us. We can try this one. let's see, use this one. Let's set the session to 1 and run this. Oh, I actually have to run I have to specify the lhost again, because it takes my local IP address. So set lhost and I'll run this again. So we can see that this has failed, the other ones should fail as well. So what we want to do now is actually go back to our nmap scan. Let me stop this one, and I will cut my nmap result again. And if you remember, guys, we saw that this machine is running Windows Server 2012. So we can search for Windows 12 server privilege escalation. And we've got some results over here. So let's see this one from ExploitDB. So this has to run on a PowerShell which is greater than version 2. Let's see if there's something on Metasploit which is gonna be really easy to use. So I'm just gonna copy the CVE name and paste it right here, and there we go. We've got a Metasploit exploit for this. So what this done is actually exploit the secondary logon handle. So let's use this and see if this works. I will set my session again to 1 and let's hope that this works. I again forgot to specify the lhost. And there we go, we've got a Metasploit session 2 that has opened. Now let's see, let's run sysinfo. So again, we're running on 86 architecture. Let's do a cell and run who am I. And as you can see, guys, we are authority, we're system, we are the highest privileged user on the machine, which means that we have successfully rooted this machine. So now all we have to do is go back, now we have to get all of the flags, cd user, oh it's actually users, let's go to Costas. Now we have to go to the desktop. I misspelled dir. And we can see user.txt right here. I will output the contents to the terminal, and we can see these are the contents of the user.txt flag. And now I'll have to go back to the administrator, cd to desktop again, and now we can type root.txt, and these are the contents of the root flag. So this was a really easy machine. All we had to do is actually do some nice and good enumeration. We can see that the -a parameter on nmap works really good, and it actually gave us really valuable information, because if it wasn't for this information we would not have exploited and rooted this machine. So if you guys have any questions, please let me know. I will make sure to answer all of them.